Dark web horror story. Dark web horror story. I could make it.
The secret to making a tasty
Let me put this away so it doesn't get hit.
This looks photoshopped.
I don't know. It looks pretty real to me. Dude, that's disgusting. Why do you even go on sites like that? Well, I only go on an occasion. Midway through Eric's sentence, a random user joined the video chat. Who's that? I don't know. I swear to God, we better not be getting hacked.
Eric, is this one of your stupid friends from the dark web? I'm gonna call the cops if it is.
That's when I decide to move my mouse cursor to exit the video chat. Why the hell isn't this working? Come on, work, goddammit! My cursor was resisting to move no matter how many times
I was showing my crusher copy of the world. Don't worry, guys, I'm not cheating.
Video turned on. It was a guy wearing a pig mask. The mask didn't look like some dollar store knockoff. It looked like the skinned face of an actual pig. He wore it like he was Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Alright, so I guess it's that time of year again. My birthday has come and went, and here I am another year older. But this time it's different, because this time I turned 30. 30 years old? Jesus Christ, somebody get this geriatric some Metamucil. That's right, I'm 30. I'm old now. I can officially go around telling kids stories about the old times. Back in my day, we only had 151 Pokemon. And if we wanted to go on the internet, we had to use dial-up. What's dial-up, Grandpa?
A spruce tree.
I have to admit that I'm a little pessimistic when it comes to my birthday these days. I don't get all excited like
also sorry guys for the big break.
I have this here Charizard. I have the world by its ass. Maybe I'm just being a big pussy crybaby. Maybe I just need to be a little bit more optimistic. My God, I'm 30 years old now. I still have this holographic Charizard. That means I still have the world by its ass. After all,
I just got really bored of the world super quick, like way too quick for my liking. So I decided to take a break before I got so bored I did something dramatic like destroy the world permanently or something like that.
My own mortality for my 30th birthday, and by God, I'm gonna do it. But luckily, instead, that wonderful wife of mine decided to plan a surprise 2-day trip on my birthday. And that trip was to Mackinac City up in Michigan. And if you're not familiar with Mackinac City, they have a bridge, they have an island, and they have about 9,000 different fun shops for your fat ass to try. Now, the hotel we were staying at was right on the beach, which meant there was roughly 4,000 seagulls hanging outside of our back door. Like Home Alone 2 and then but there was this one fat seagull that stood out from the rest of them, and his name was Derek. I know his name was Derek because I named him Derek. Derek the seagull. And Derek's ass was the alpha male of all the seagulls. And any food that was coming his way was all his. He's attacking everybody. That's his territory. He's a fucking maniac. Look at him go. So I'm out on the beach feeding Derek's fat ass some leftover pizza that I had, and everything's going fine until all the other seagulls get pissed off because they're not getting any. So what do they decide to do? Well, they decide to shit on my head. That's what they decide to do. Is that shit? Did the bird just shit on me? Oh, no, there's bird shit on my hand. God damn it. All right, so maybe not a great start to the Mackinac trip, but it gets better. Today, we decided to go to Mackinac Island. And since we've never been there before, our dumbasses think that there's a bridge that you can just drive across. We're Googling driving directions and shit. Well, this can't be right. It says here we have to drive a fucking submarine 4 miles from Lake Zero. Oh, wait a minute, there's a ferry. You're supposed to take a fucking boat across. We're stupid. So we take this ferry out to Mackinac Island, and everything's going fine. That is until we notice that there's a lady sitting by us that's breastfeeding a very, very large child. Oh my God, don't look now, but I think there's a lady breastfeeding a fucking 9-year-old. What? Oh my God, what the hell? Now, I don't have a problem with breastfeeding in public, but this shit looked like a midget trying to get to second base for Christ's sake. What the hell are you staring at? I'm on my lunch break. So needless to say, we get the hell off the ferry as fast as we can. You wanna get a beer? Yeah, I think I need a beer after seeing that shit. So we go to a local brewery on the island, and like all breweries, they have a bunch of weird beers that you can try. Ooh, this one tastes like a peanut butter sandwich. Oh God, this one tastes like a fucking Duracell battery. What the hell? We look over the table next to us, and guess who we see? That's right, it's Milky and her son. The kid's still got a fucking milk mustache still on his lip and shit. Okay then, time to leave. I'm not sticking around to watch this kid have some fun. So now we decide to ride mountain bikes to drive around the island. The only problem was that my bike was messed up, and the gears would change all willy-nilly by themselves. Now I'm riding around the island looking like a drunk guy that doesn't know how to work a 10-speed. Oh, that guy must be wasted. Yeah, I wonder how many Duracell battery beers he had. Jesus Christ. So we go riding around Mackinac Island with my bike that's possessed by the devil. And I have to say that Mackinac Island island is pretty as hell. The water's all crystal clear. Shit looks like a goddamn Bob Ross painting. You see, I'm used to the dirty-ass Maumee River, where the water looks like chocolate milk and it smells like dead people. But out here...
What was the most awkward thing you witnessed in a school classroom? NSFW. Girl fell while sitting at a desk in math class. Person beside me starts laughing. The look on his face when it became obvious she was having a seizure was that of pure terror and regret. God dang, this same thing happened to me. She was my good friend though, so we had a laugh about it afterward. Then next week she sort of slumped over in her desk. I thought she was falling asleep, so I jokingly whispered to her, "Hey, don't have another seizure." She had another seizure. My professor for a computer science class had his phone go off during a lecture one day. He's a pretty chill old man, so everyone starts giggling and some people are yelling at him to answer it. He looks at his phone and says, "Oh no, I'm not answering. My brother died today and I have to make a Zoom call. I'll call back later," and then he went on with his lecture. I've never seen a room so awkwardly quiet and sad. The dedication though. Shortly after the Columbine shooting, I was called into the office and a guidance counselor tried very awkwardly to have a conversation with me about not mimicking the incident. I was a model student with no disciplinary issues or any indication of a troubled family life. I just didn't have any friends and spent my free time in the library. When I asked why I got singled out, she looked awkwardly at the desk and said I'd go. We had a mentally challenged kid who stood up in the middle of lunch and threw his tray of food against the wall and ran out of the room screaming. The assistant principal walked past my table saying, "I guess he didn't like the soup. Your assistant principal is hilarious." When I was in the 6th grade, one of my classmates took off his prosthetic leg and tried to hit the teacher with it. I went to school with a kid who had a prosthetic leg who would constantly pick fights with people and then take it off and try to use it as a weapon. One particular time this dude just grabbed it, yanked it out of his hands and tossed it over a wall. Dude looked so bummed hopping around the fence to go get it. I don't think he tried doing it again. My high school economics class. A girl was called to the office with her things rather suddenly. About 2 minutes later she comes bursting into the room and yells, "My dad just died." The teacher immediately went to her to try and console her as she was justifiably distressed. Everyone in the room was in complete shock. She then yelled at the teacher to get off of her and threw her arm back and started hysterically darting around the room. Eventually her family member came to the room and got her. We could hear her sobbing down the hall. It was the craziest, most heart-wrenching thing I had seen in a class. The second most awkward thing involved the same girl about a year earlier. She nearly tried to fight our English lit teacher while he was dressed in a formal kilt and jacket. I don't remember why. She had to be escorted out by security. My 30-year-old teacher admitted she was a virgin to a class of high school sophomores. That didn't end well. Kid in my sophomore math class would massage rub his girlfriend's bare feet for most of class, every day. That girl was the happiest person in the entire school. This one time in 3rd grade, the boy next to me went under his desk and took his clothes off because he wanted to be invisible. It only works if you aren't looking at him. During the lunch break, this guy who was eating a sandwich was on the verge of sneezing. So he finally sneezes and I see the piece of sandwich flying, I'm not kidding, into the mouth of my classmate who was busy laughing. His confused expression was priceless. We had one of those strange quiet weeks at school that everyone would verbally abuse. One day he showed up with 4 long scratch marks on the side of his face. These were pretty raw and were scabbing up. Kids were making fun of him. "Hey, have a rough date last night, hey? You're supposed to jack off your chin, not your head." This went on for a couple of days. Then we find out that he had taken a butcher knife to his piano teacher during a lesson and chopped the heck out of her. They found her body on the floor of the kitchen, nude, mutilated, and a bottle of wine and 2 wine glasses on the counter. He came to school for 2 days afterwards while she lay there on the floor rotting. She had been SY abusing him for weeks and he finally snapped. Poor kid. He got off on self-defense and he and his family went underground after that. Name change and everything. There was a kid in my school who was kind of problematic. One day, during a math test, he grabbed the test papers, went to the corner of the classroom and peed on them. "Sorry teacher, I can't finish the test. There's pee on it." Middle school chemistry class. The ceiling the previous spring term. Pigeons had nested in it unbeknownst to the teacher. Fan used during a demonstration. Pandemonium reigned that day. Blood and feathers reigned that day. That's metal as frig. A kid in my kindergarten class whipped out his penis once for show and tell. He said it hides when he's cold. That's the only sentence he got out before one of the teacher was able to get to him and pull up his pants. The girls in the class asked what it was for, and the teachers didn't know what to answer except for snack break and then back to show and tell. In high school I reached down for a binder that was in my backpack on the floor. I reached down to grab it, and when I positioned myself back upright in my chair, I ended up scooping the teacher's boobs, who was walking down the aisle, with my head. We just kinda looked at each other in fear and no words came out of either of our mouths. Nobody else saw it or at least made a point to say that they saw it. I like to think it was just our little uncomfortable secret. Some kid had pulled his hard-on out during a movie to impress us, not his girlfriend. I once watched a kid stand on top of his desk then run around the room crying after the teacher asked him to stop. This was in high school. I don't know if this is awkward or more uncomfortably sad. When I was in middle school, pretty tight-knit, a kid had died on Saturday. I had a couple classes with him but didn't know him that well. Well, on Monday my second class of the day had a sub and the kid who died happened to have been in that class. I guess no one clued the sub in, because she called his name during attendance. It was deafeningly silent and felt like the air was slowly being sucked out of the room. After a second or two she called his name again and several people burst into sobs and ran from the room. Then I heard someone whisper he died. Another teacher I had was absent that day too. I think he had some prior engagement as opposed to randomly taking a sick day, and the next day when he came back, the boy that died was also in this class. He was apologizing profusely for not being there for us and everything. At some point during his little speech he started crying and slammed his fist down on his desk. It was so sad. He truly felt awful for not being there that day. I was in the 9th grade, and there was a girl in my classroom who broke both of her arms. So she had them in the cast that held her arms above her waist. Now this girl wasn't the most popular and she was best friends with another girl who was equally awkward as she was. I will never forget when the best friend raised her hand to get the attention of the teacher. The teacher called on the best friend, and she asked if she and her broken-armed friend could use the restroom together. And the teacher asks, why would you need to go together? She replies just like this, I have to unzip and take off her pants. Looking back, I understand now that she just wanted to help her friend use the restroom. But imagine being in 9th grade and you hear this. Everyone in the classroom was silent. Then one kid started laughing. Then everyone started laughing. And that is how the lesbian rumors started about the two. High school can be a bee. What a good friend though. A friend of mine was bragging about how he could sleep with any of the girls in the class. My other friend decided to put his boast to the test by asking all girls at once. Loudly, the one guy that slept through every class raised his hand. 11th grade, shitty alternative school. One of the scummy kids was a notorious cigarette bum. They gave us smoke breaks at school to cut down on kids leaving campus. One day, he asked to bum a cigarette from someone, and they said, eat a dead fly off the windowsill and I'll give you a cigarette. He thought about it for a minute, and someone else offered to give him a cigarette for every fly he ate. This turned into eating all 24 of the available dead flies for 24 cigarettes. He ate them one at a time, and collected a cigarette for each. The next day, he tried again, but there weren't any flies to eat. The following day, he brought his own flies in. That kid was fricked up. This really weird nerdy boy asked the prettiest girl to homecoming with this crazy big sign right in front of the entire class, but she already had a date. Don't let your dreams be dreams, I guess. I was in the first day of a pay class with a classically intense coach. He bounced students out of the first week with ease. This one kid didn't follow his instructions, so he told him to get out. The kid remains silent and doesn't budge. The teacher comes up and starts yelling at him to leave. The kid walks up in his face and doesn't move. The entire class is watching, just wondering if this is how we all die. Eventually he walked out, but it was uncomfortable as frig. Plot twist, kid was deaf. I was about 12 when this happened. I'm from Canada, so translate this to whatever grade it is for you. We were in music class class and some guy got a boner because he just started having them and have them all the time. Now the awkward thing is he just starts poking at it, then hitting it hard to make it go away. Most of the people around him notice and just burst out laughing. In 7th grade, there was this girl that was known for doing all kinds of weird crap. She cut a chunk of her hair off and left it on my friend's desk as a birthday present, meowed at people and cried when anyone stepped on a bug. The most awkward incident happened when she dropped her pencil during a test. I guess she was too shy to ask the person next to her for it, so she tried to stretch for it and ended up flipping her desk over. She then continued to do her test in her desk sideways for another 10 minutes until the teacher told another student to flip her over. This sounds like it could be in Sideways Stories from Wayside School. In 2nd grade of high school, a student flipped the F out and started throwing chairs and his desk at the teacher because he was refused a test reprisal upon failing it the first time. Crap got super scary. He was yelling like crazy and the female teacher was trying to protect herself from the things thrown at her. Another teacher next door barged in, grabbed the enraged student, nailed him on the floor, face down, and tied his feet and arms together with his belt and shoelace. I remember him being taken away and we never saw him again. I think the teachers ate him. As a senior in high school government class, my teacher would hit on all the girls in the class. But one day he asked one of the girls if she was spanked for bad behavior as a child, and when she said that she had, he quietly asked her if she liked it. While the rest of the class was there, half the room heard. That teacher is super creepy. There was 2 kids known for playing this joke on substitute teachers. It goes like this. Student A tells the sub to ask student B how many push-ups his grandpa can do. And student B tells a story, while pretending to cry, about how his grandpa lost both his arms in the war. Multiple substitutes broke out in tears crying and had to leave. That is convoluted and evil but also magnificent. My period starting. I was also wearing a white dress and sat in front of the guy I had a huge crush on. Gummy. Class bully pouring some of his own pee on the teacher's head. Teacher shrugged it off because it wasn't a lot and didn't know what it was. It wasn't me, but the stories were everywhere. In public grade school, our superintendent made a surprise visit and decided to sit in on a random teacher's class. She sat in the back to watch and these 2 boys in front of her were whispering to each other. She leaned in and whispered that they should pay attention. They did, but 2 or 3 minutes later started again. This apparently happened several more iterations before the SR leaned forward and slammed their heads together and shouted, "Pay the frick attention to your teacher." Fired before the end of the school day. This is the goodest fly boy. He will bring you 10 years of happiness in exchange for a like on it. Serious, sailors, seamen and overall people who spend a vast amount of time in the ocean. Have you ever witnessed something you would catalog as supernatural or unusual? What was it like? The stress flares in the middle of the Indian Ocean sailing Nigeria, Japan at night when I was a 3rd mate. Looked less than 4 miles away. Altered course to it, called the Old Man. Found nothing and no one over the course of 2 hours. I was the only one to see it, and I know what I saw. My watchman was damn closing cabin shades. I understand why we had to move on. Keeps me up some nights though. Did we come so close to saving someone's life, and just leave them there, alone in the ocean? No food or water. Did someone think they were rescued but we ended up too far from them? Should we have waited until daytime? Did I just hallucinate? These types of immensely consequential what-if questions tend to weigh all the more heavily on people who care for others. I believe it is more wise to feel relief that you tried to investigate what you saw in the hopes of helping, regardless of it having been real or a hallucination. You and your team put the effort into checking. Thank you for sharing your story. Sailed on tall ships for a good while, among other things. Saw some green flashes, a mover, lots of phosphorescence. Big whales, St. Elmo's fire on our mast. Steel ship this time. But the only creepy story was at port. The only person who had ever died on the ship was over 100 years ago, and he fell from the rigging. Went splat. One of the crew was up furling sails, and was about to step out onto the foot road that runs along the yard. He said he got an overwhelming urge to not step on it, and felt a tug on his harness keeping him from stepping out. He was so freaked out he kept the other 2 guys behind him from getting on the line as well. The other guys started getting a really bad feeling too. and they decided to check out the foot rope. It had been really degrading on the inside. Even through the outside looked mostly fine. The line probably would have snapped as they climbed down there, and they would have fallen, as you are pretty much free climbing until you get to a stopping point. While on watch, I saw a seagull swallow an entire sea cucumber that easily had a bigger circumference than the seagull's neck in one go. I was disgusted but also impressed. A maelstrom in Norway. It's actually really fascinating. But looking down into the currents, it's a bit freaky. Look it up, it's like a load of whirlpools all happening together. I used to live near the Corrie Wrekin in Scotland. Scary crap. They once threw in a mannequin with a life jacket and a depth gauge, and it was instantly sucked straight down 262 meters, then dragged along the seabed for a few miles. So yeah, don't fall in, even with a life jacket. In the Gulf of Aden, having been at sea for a while and with absolutely blistering heat, I heard my nickname called 3 times, clearly and loudly. It was my first time with this particular crew and none of them knew my nickname. My best guess is dehydration and stress, but I'll never forget it. I was on navigation watch with a second mate one night off the Philippines. The ship was on autopilot making for Manila. It was a clear, still, dark night. Through the binoculars I picked up navigation lights of another ship about 5 degrees off the port bow. It was well off, but I noted the bearing and checked the radar. Nothing. This was not unusual. If it was one of the small local...
Bad Boy, Halo, and Skeppy clips.
I'm gonna name him Strawberry. Mine's gonna be Blueberry. Blueberry and Strawberry. Yeah. I love it.
What was I doing? Oh, gathering saplings. Oh man, it wasn't even that good. I was even this good.
Oh my God, you saved me. Wait, say that again. So what again? Let me say it again. It again. Oh, my pickaxe broke. Can I have another pickaxe? Say the magic words. Give it to me, you fucking bitch. Language! Forget you! Alright, please, please, please! I'm sorry!
Yeah?
I need it! That I need it! I need it! Dad, I want to buy diamonds with you! I want diamonds! Sorry? Are you sorry? You really sorry? Alright, then say it. Give me wood. Give you wood? Yes. I'm out of wood. I have sticks. Yes. There you go.
Oh, I am so down with that. I really hope it doesn't sell. I've been looking for this for so long, and if you accept that deal, I'd be so happy. I almost got one for so much less, but then someone else bought it.
What do you need that for?
Oh wow, oh wow.
Where are you going?
We don't die.
Where are you going? S. O. O. S. O. R. S. O. R. I. S. R. Swords. Oh,
Sort. S-R-O-T. Sort.
Please, I'm sorry. Can I
You can't just say that and then say I'm forget it. Please, I don't care.
Where are you going? Dad, you know you're just gonna find yourself back here.
No, I won't. Really? What?
Oh, really? Can't be quiet for 30 seconds?
What is that supposed to?
Oh, look at this.
Oh.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
Why are you leaving? We didn't find diamonds.
I want to find diamonds.
That was an unproductive trip, Dad.
Yeah, no, I got plenty of iron.
Okay, iron is worthless. Okay, it's about diamonds.
You need iron to find diamonds, eh?
It's-
Yeah.
Come with me. Come with me.
Apologize first.
I'm sorry. Now, can we go down?
All I heard was, I'm Larry. I didn't say it.
I'm sorry. Can we go back down?
You're really sorry?
Yes.
Hey, come on.
Hello, welcome. Today we are about to do something extremely expensive. So, I'm currently on Bad Boy Halo's live stream. Hold on, let me get rid of my face cam. If you want to see my face, you need to subscribe to Skeppy's Lab. Anyway, today I am on Bad Boy Halo's live stream. Let's turn up the volume.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, never mind.
Well, that's too bad, but I'm streaming right now and I won't be done until later.
Be quiet. And like I said, I'm about to do something extremely expensive. So, this is Bad Boy Halo's donation page, and I thought, you know what? Today, I just hit 4 million subscribers. By the way, thank you so much. That is insane. And if you're not subscribed, just hit that red button. Because according to YouTube Analytics, you should really do it. And it would help me out a ton, and this video is super expensive. So I really need this one. You probably already read the title. You know what we're doing. Like the video. Let's do this. Let's donate and start off with $10. $10. We're gonna need a calculator for this one, because math. First of all, I don't even know how to do this video, because I don't know if it'll just reject my card, but $50,000 is about to go into this man's bank account. So let's just start it off with a high and donate. Okay, we'll start off with PayPal, and I believe that should have gone through. So now we only have $49,990 more to go. Let's see if that goes through. Your donation has been processed. Okay, where is it? Where's my donation? This better work, because I have a bunch more money to go. Oh, there it is. Skeppy donated $10 saying hi. Acknowledge me! Give me attention! I just gave you $10. Oh my god, this kid's taking my spotlight. Fine, if you're not gonna give me attention, I will donate $100. Donate 100, and let's say, stop ignoring me. Give me attention, please. How much money is it going to take for you to acknowledge me, huh? Donate. Maybe he actually did acknowledge me. I don't know. Okay, let's donate this. And $100 bucks. What are you screaming about? Be quiet. Be quiet. I have money to donate. Minus 100. $49,890 more to go. Let's see if he doesn't ignore my donation this time.
We should call you Captain Poison.
Oh, there it is. Skeppy donated $100. Oh, and really bad. The entire chat is telling you about my dono. Come on, Bad. Come on. How much more is it gonna take? Another $100 for the message K? Yeah, I think so. Bad, you're making this really frustrating. I have a lot more to go. Oh, there it is. Skeppy donated $100 with K.
Oh my goodness! Skeppy! Stop donating!
Yes!
Skeppy, thank you for the $10.
The 10? What about the 200s?
Thank you, Skeppy, for the $100.
You're welcome.
I'm giving you attention. You're not the real Skeppy. I don't believe it.
Yes, I am. You know what? We're going up to 500 here.
Bow and arrows. Thank you for the sub. Skeppy, stop donating! I don't believe that that's the real Skeppy.
He doesn't believe it's me. It's me.
Probably not unless I stop stream soon.
Donate. Okay, we literally donated another $500.
Thank you.
Well, the only way is if nothing happens for like an hour, then I'll get off in like 2 hours.
Hey, there's no way that's the real Skeppy. I'm gonna message him.
He's messaging me.
I don't believe that that's you. Skeppy, seriously? $500? There's no flipping way. Skeppy, seriously.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's the $10 one, the $100 donate. Stop ignoring another $500 and say how much money is it gonna take for you to acknowledge? Oh my God! I'm sorry. Skeppy says K. Okay, the $500 actually might be Skeppy. Hold on. This is ridiculous. This is literally insane. Forgive me for ignoring you for a bit. It's not my fault. Okay. Waggity. We're donating. We've donated another $500. And now let's see how this goes. Skeppy, what are you doing? Skeppy, that was $790 to go. 500. And he said, oops. Skeppy, stop. Literally stop. Okay, no more. And should we just straight up do like $3,000? Should we straight up just do $3 grand? Oh my God. This is so much money.
Introducing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. It's made with real fruit juice and is USDA certified organic. We're not.
We party you. You are mean to me. I get somewhat excited yet nervous and already frustrated when I see We Party You. I would say, I'm going to play today until I beat Master Difficulty, but I said that last time. And then I just ended up destroying my Wii Remote, and I wasn't able to beat it. As long as I don't break a Wii Remote,
specifically grow it,
or my gamepad, or my Wii U, or a TV, I will beat Wii Party U Master Difficulty today. Like, I will keep on playing it until I beat it. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. So this is the first group I played with. The very first time I played Wii Party U Master Difficulty. This is the same group that I played then. It's all women, and that scares me crapless. But, so if we win, we get to rub it in their faces. If we lose, we just get extra embarrassed. As a quick reminder, this is your last chance to get the limited edition Beef Boss hoodie from my Merch for All store. This hoodie is available normal, and then it's available also hand-signed by me. This is a limited time offer, and it ends tomorrow. That is Monday, June 8th. That is the very last day to buy the hoodie, either unsigned or signed, and then after that, they're gone. So if you want one, be sure to click on the link in the description and buy one, and if you want it signed, be sure to pick the signed option, and you will get one before they are gone. And we're going to start out with one that I love, the Ninja game. It tricks me. It tricks me every time because I want to throw. I knew it was no way going to be. Ooh, see, I get good, and then all of a sudden they're fast as shit.
Also, that's perfect for me because I actually can't buy it until my techno money comes in.
Oh, I'm not actually going to throw.
But I would really wish that you could put it on hold.
Ooh. No way, it's 2 in a row, right? Oh, I got that one first. No! I would have won it if I didn't do that. But I did that. I finally had it. I finally had it. And then I just had to throw a star.
Oh, do I have arrows?
Okay, come on.
I need arrows.
Come on.
Turtle mess.
What? I'm usually great at that game. I don't freaking know. I thought I had it. I thought I was on point, but then at the end I just freaking rapid tapped. I'm at 47. I could be right. Yes! Only one off. Don't mess me with counting. Of course. Can't get a first place roll without getting dicked at least a little bit. Am I really in last place? I'm gonna be in last place. Elena, please land on the last place boost. Get a 7 or less. You get about the opposite. That's something I can get behind. There we go. Last place boost for Beef Boss.
I think we got tacos. Yep, we got taco time.
1v3, no! This 1v3s in this game relies solely on what freaking game you get. I don't think I have ever been the one on this one to hide the gems, but if there's one thing girls like, it's diamonds, so they're gonna frickin' sniff this shit and find it. Okay. Will they find it? Of course. Of frickin' course they're gonna find one of them. You bastard, Polly. Okay. I think I got a perfect hiding spot. Seriously? They always guess one of them. What one to pick? I'm gonna pick this one. Oh god, don't guess it. Please don't. No. Ah, gotcha! Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha! I did it. I did it. I win. And then I'm just...
John, that was good.
What am I doing with that? Big mini game win. I get a 10 out of 5 fucking
Turn a
dice.
little.
No! Pete Butch just died in a hole. It wants...
We have big news. New Kellogg's Cinnamon Roll. Guys, isn't this so funny? I'm in my pool, but it's in my house. Oh my god.
I think it would be cool if you got your toaster, lol.
A toaster? I mean, I am feeling a little hungry. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I got my toaster. It's plugged in. What should we make? I got some Eggo waffles. I got some bread. What should I make, guys?
You should put the toaster in the hot tub now.
But if I put it in the hot tub, won't the food get soggy? I mean, alright, I guess I'll try it.
Don't you know I am immortal? The only thing the electricity does to me is increase my breast size threefold. Don't ever try to trick me again. You have been banned.
Sorry about that.
What was the most awkward thing you witnessed?
We need some Friday Night Funkin' Week 3. Remember, guys, we live at 00. We are good. Friday Night Funkin' Week 4. Ara. Cool. Well, that sucks. Come on, search. Friday Night Funkin' Week 4. Okay, it's there.
LinkedIn Sales Navigator helps me build and maintain relationships virtually.
Jeez, how far is this thing? We're already walked 420 blocks.
In style, uninterrupted.
Ooh, a flower. Oh, money. Guys, we found money. This is very important. We cannot let anyone find this. Oh my god, no, I can't believe we're going to the end and I'm worrying about these stupid ass money flowers. No, they're not stupid. We must get all of them so no one will have money like us.
Cookie on Friday night yet?
Oh, there's too much. Okay, we'll grab more later. Okay, 32 for good luck. Gee, how far? Come on, why is there so much money on this path? Oh, do I have... Oh, I should have grabbed the ender pearl, so I could... I'll just grab some while I'm there. Can't see it with my reaction fingers, but I took a deep sigh. Okay, a stack of money, that's a lot. I I know it's not a lot, and I'm letting down my ancestor facial app. Please have like obsidian or something here. I know I'm taking like so many detours, but gotta listen. There could be something really insane here that could help me with the fight, like an engine.
When I was a kid, my dad used to take me to get my hair cut at a barber shop. If I got a haircut with my mom, I'd go to a salon and just run around, be a little asshole, spray all the hairspray on the shelf, get my haircut, get a sucker, and go the fuck home. But not at a barber shop, no. You sat your silly ass down and you got your goddamn haircut, okay? You weren't dealing with your mom's best friend cutting your hair. You had a strange, angry man doing it. I walk into this place and everybody's smoking cigarettes. I sit in a chair and I'm thinking, this is where people get haircuts? Somebody's garage? Everybody smells like bourbon? I remember sitting there and there was a bunch of Playboy magazines on the table in front of me. Just some porn for casual read. I'm like, Dad, look, there's porn on the table. Look it. Shut up. But look, there's porn. There's Playboy magazine. Shut up. We talked about this in the car. And then you get to pick which convict you want to cut your hair. You got the bald guy with prison tattoos, some guy with an eye patch, and then the old guy. His hands are fucking shaking. He's over there. You can hardly see anything. He's giving everybody haircuts from the 1920s. I'm sitting there completely baffled. Like, what the hell? I'm getting my hair cut by pirates? Well, I guess I'll option with the bald guy. Because bald people know a lot about cutting hair. And I'm looking at this nasty ass barber chair. It's got dried blood all over it. Like, do I really want to sit there? Do I really want to get body lice? But you do it because you don't want Cyrus the Virus from Con Air ripping your fucking arms off. Sit down. I start telling the guy, I want a number 2 on the sides and finger length on top. Whoa. You want a fucking haircut, right? Look at the board over there. We have one option. Don't give me any of that fancy jargon. You want your hair shorter than it is now. Okay, I got it. Start making these weird-ass jokes.
Well, if you can put it on hold for a week or two, I could get that much.
Jokes that you're not even sure are jokes at all. They're like, man, you're a cute kid. If I didn't know any better, I'd steal you off the street and take you home with me. You're like, what the hell? Your eyes are fixed on the front door. Like, I could just leave. I could just get up and run out of here. Run down the street screaming and make a scene. You look back at your dad. He's fucking sleeping on the chair. Like, what the fuck, Dad? Is this guy gonna fucking cut my hair? Is he gonna skin me alive? So they start cutting your hair. You gotta be perfectly fucking still because they'll cut you. And if they cut you, they'll yell at you because it's your fault. Stop fucking moving your head. Alright, shit. I'll try not to blink. I'll try not to breathe at all, really. You're praying to Jesus. You're like, God, please, just get me through this. I'll give you all my Pokemon cards if you just take me to a salon. And then 10 minutes later, they're done, and it's actually a really good haircut. You're like, holy hell, that's the best haircut I ever had in my life. Thank you, strange man with only 4 teeth in your head. You cut hair really good. And then you think, maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth a few cigarette burns and almost shit in your pants for a really good haircut. And then you're like, no, it's not fucking worth it. I'm in the car, I'm like, Dad, don't you ever fucking take me back there again, okay? You take me back there again, and I'm gonna be a drug addict rapist when I grow up. And then you'll find me years later, cutting hair at that fucking barber shop, staring the shit out of little kids my age. God, your hair smells good. You sure you don't want to take your shirt off before we do this thing? Ha 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 ha.
I just realized something. We could have completely missed it. And we're just going the complete wrong way. A village, that's actually perfect because I need to get some sleep. No, why this place?
What's something you saw coming miles away that a lot of people didn't? I went to college for mining engineering. When I was doing interviews for internships, one of the companies I interviewed with was Peabody Energy. Now, at this time Peabody was the largest coal company in the world and was one of those annoying companies that thought they were so awesome that they basically wanted you to sit there and beg them to hire you. Anyways, during my interview they asked what I saw as the biggest challenge to Peabody Energy. I told them that since they only mined coal and were not diversified into other minerals like other large mining companies, if something happened to the coal market it would be hard for the company to survive it. The smug butthole doing the interview acted like that was the dumbest thing he had ever heard, and told me their focus on coal is what made the company strong. 5 years later, the coal market falls apart, Peabody goes bankrupt, and their stock BTU becomes so worthless that they kicked it off the New York Stock Exchange. Basic principle of economics. Diversify, diversify, diversify. You avoid the huge fickle swings of the market. In 2006, I wrote my final paper in my macroecon class about the home loan industry, and it would be better for everyone if brokers were paid on loans they closed as an annuity that grew over time, giving them a vested interest in making sure their clients paid on their loans. My conclusion was that the instant gratification of being paid that close of escrow, easy access to money, and predatory loan brokers would cause the housing market to crash. My professor gave me a B, saying while it was an excellent paper, but the premise was flawed. People should be paid what they are entitled to, and the Fed would never let that happen. In 2009, that same professor contacted me via FB to apologize. Well, at least he admitted defeat. I remember vividly during the 9/11 attacks my dad saying the awful thing is everyone around there is fricked because of the amount of asbestos that's probably in those buildings. He's a structural engineer. Now there are concerns that the number of deaths due to asbestos dust inhalation may be greater than the number of people initially killed. Inspired memory from a previous comment about a dog. My dog's skin started to melt off and the poor girl started to pee blood. Vets had no idea, but I recognized it immediately, thanks to studying health and epidemiology. Leishmaniasis, only found in Mediterranean countries usually. It's a disease carried by parasites in sand fleas. The disease is actually caused by the parasite. I told the vet, since the dog was born in Greece it also made sense. I was told I was wrong. My doggo's skin continued to melt off and she continued to pee blood after a fortune of antibiotics and steroids, which made it worse. In the end I took her to the PDSA and told the vet what it was, and she agreed. Got her on the correct treatment and my dog is beautiful again. 6 months off a year-long course of tablets and she's fine. Frick Plunkets. Company I used to work for placed the biggest idiot in management as the new CEO. Upon hearing the news I said that the company would be bankrupt in 4 years. It was actually bankrupt in 3 years and a few months, so I missed it by little. Years ago a friend got a puppy and I came over to see her one day. While we were in the living room, the puppy was wandering around sniffing about and my immediate thought was it's sniffing for a crap spot. I tell my friend this and she's like, nah, he's just curious about the house.
Oh, he just spawned.
I tell her I'm absolutely sure he's going to crap and she'd better take him to the corner of the kitchen that's got a load of newspaper on the floor. But again she's like, oh, it's fine. Not 5 seconds after she ignores me, the puppy takes a huge crap that was almost half its size on the carpet. She's freaking out and runs to grab it and take it outside, but the damage is done. I was pretty impressed by the size of that crap though. What the frick did it eat? Not mine, but still impressive. I was with my dad at the movies, and as we were waiting around to get snackies and such, he noticed a Mr. and Mrs. Smith poster with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and said, well, that's the end of his marriage, referencing Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's current marriage. Not 4 months later were the rumors of Brad cheating and divorcing Jennifer Aniston were flying, and then actually happened in October. My dad is sage-like. I have the unfortunate distinction of being 3/3 on calling divorces in my friend circle. As somebody who made all the wrong decisions with my first GF, I can smell insecurity and fear-driven decisions from a mile away. So when certain couples get married for the wrong reasons, I can usually see it when others can't because I recognize all the same mistakes I made. Same here. I got married extremely young and can tell when people are making the same mistake. Housing bubble in 2006. How many shows on TLC were flipping houses and doubling their money? If it was that easy, why aren't we all doing it? Yeah, I'm not selling out modest house even though the value jumped 30% and then going to get a bigger house with an interest-only load from Quicken. Who does this crap? Fast forward 2009. Oh, they did. And there goes the stock market. Jeff and Sally are looking for a house to flip. Jeff is a part-time pizza delivery boy and Sally is a homemaker. Their budget is $800,000 for the property and $400,000 for the materials and
I can get sharpness 5 back.
The affair of General Petraeus and Paula Broadwell. When she released her book, Jon Stewart had her as a guest on The Daily Show. I happened to get tickets to that show. The way she talked about him and how she tried so hard to
dare
describe their
fucking complain. I'm
platonic,
saving your
professional
village.
relationship, I knew. Like a douche, I turned to my friends and said, she got that D. Later that year, crap hit the fan. So, this won't be too well known to people who don't work in the IT industry, but I actually called the Lenovo Superfish scandal the moment I saw it on a computer. Superfish was a program, a piece of malware, that was pre-installed on a lot of Lenovo computers a few years ago. It was collecting user data and forwarding that data to a third party. The moment I saw it listed in the programs on a new Lenovo that I was setting up for a client, I had my suspicions. When I was installing their AV, it ran a scan as a sort of baseline thing, and it flagged Superfish almost immediately as being a potential threat. So I removed it and finished setting it up.
Feeling
I removed
ill? No, I'm
Superfish from
feeling
every
great.
computer I saw it on. I do admit it took me a bit to realize it was only on Lenovis, and recommended to my
Kinda
co-workers to
happy
do the
that they
same.
haven't been
A
like
couple
super
weeks
far
after the
like
first
last
time we
time.
saw it, news came out that it was malware and should be removed immediately. It's one of the only times I ever got to say I told you so to my co-workers, because I was the least experienced there, and I felt pretty proud of myself for having that foresight. It was really frustrating to deal with the people that would come in after the news broke accusing us of allowing this to happen. How could you sell me a computer that has viruses on it? Well, for those who came to us, the service department, we didn't. We removed it. Secondly, why would anyone ever suspect a manufacturer of allowing malware to be preloaded onto their machines? My co-workers thought I was nuts for thinking that, and the only reason they complied with my suggestion was because it did no harm to remove it. So, yeah, I called Superfish, and I think I deserve a cookie for my minute contribution. Chris Evans' popularity when not another teen movie came out and he walked on screen with cherries and whipped cream on his nipples and a banana in his butt. I knew this
I spent all my time looking for them, and then they just not there.
Cap. Not me, but someone near me. I was driving out to my college one morning and came up to a light. I had to turn left, but there was no arrow.
I'm the hero of the
So I
village.
had to yield to the other person and wait for them to go first when the light turned green.
Let's go.
They weren't going. I waited a few seconds, then waved them through. I looked at the driver and it was this really peaceful-looking old lady with a smug but look on her
I
face.
win.
Like,
I'm the
perfect.
champion.
I've been in this world way longer than you.
Woo!
Grandma type. She just nodded at me and put up a
I'm
palm as though to say,
sorry. Okay,
wait.
you know what, let's
And
just
at that
go.
moment, a massive truck came barreling
where's my
through the
totem? Oh, that's
intersection.
so cool.
I guess its brakes malfunctioned, but that smug grandma saved my freaking life. Looks like the grandma herself disabled the brakes. My brother-in-law going to jail for selling drugs. Everybody knew about his painkiller addiction, but somehow I was the only one aware of his unlawful buying, selling of them. The housing crisis.
This
I didn't know the extent of what would happen and how deep it went, but when people making 30K a year were buying 7 or 8 houses at a time to flip them within a couple months, I knew something had to give. I'll never forget this guy in a grocery store talking excitedly about how the housing boom would never stop and wondering how people could be so naive. I did an internship with WF Subprime Home Mortgage in 2006, and even as an idiot 22-year-old, I could see that giving mortgages to people who I wouldn't trust to pay me back for lunch would bite us in the butt. This was years ago, but as a kid I randomly heard of them about a year before they became massively popular in the UK. I wanted them for a long time, but whoever I told laughed at me. I was too bitter to want them when they got popular. I managed to get over the injustice of it all eventually. I remember in primary school there was this weird kid. His dad was really into gadgets and novelty stuff. One day the kid comes in with these stupid wheeled shoes and we all laughed. Nobody had seen anything like it before. He just looked silly. This was years before just about every kid seemed to either have or really want a pair. My 2 first jobs going out of business. My last day working at a video rental store, circa 2004. I said, we're either going to be replaced by the internet or machines. I was wrong because it turned out to be both. That is, Redbox and Netflix streaming. But I knew our brick and mortar days were done. Good riddance. Borders books. As the holiday season was approaching and we were setting up the store for Christmas and Black Friday,
God,
one of
stop
the cash
fucking giving me the
registers
same
broke
shit.
down. No big deal. Normally we call corporate and someone drives out from Los Angeles the same day with a new machine because it's in corporate's interest that we be able to efficiently take money from people who are trying to give it to us. Corporate refused. That's when I knew we would be out of business after the holiday season. Sure enough. Interesting way of predicting Border's demise. I'm still quite heartbroken over that loss. We had a leaking high-pressure airline at the factory I work at. Production environment. So everything is frick all compared to parts coming out. We went out at night and patched it. Next morning they said that we needed to dig it up and have all the new line laid out next to it so we can swap it over lunch. I told him there was no fricking way because I needed to get a contractor out to scan underground for other conduit. Disclaimer. We knew for a fact there was no gas or electric lines where we dug.
Okay, right here.
While digging. In the first hour, the backhoe broke the line in half. Called it. Then we broke a water line. Called it. Then a 14 inches sewer line. Called it. Then internet cable. Called it. Then factory communication line. Called it. Just finished that job with over 200 hours of holiday overtime. That'll teach him. Now to get communication contractors out on a holiday weekend. 3D TV fat going away. I tried it out at my friend's place and while it was kinda cool, it felt gimmicky like something to try but not use regularly. Yeah, 3D is a flop.
God
but I
fucking
read
damn
somewhere that
it.
the reason why
What
entertainment
is
companies
happening?
produced 3D movies
It keeps
was to force
disappearing but
theaters
not
to
actually
upgrade
being
their
what I
system to
want.
digital. That way they did not have to pay 8K for the rolls
This shit
anymore as everything
fucking
became digital.
sucks.
I knew the Duggars would eventually have some nasty scandals come out. You cannot tell me that a family of just over 20 people are all going to be great. Someone is bound to be a piece of crap. I think that it will probably come out that the older married siblings didn't actually wait until marriage. Last night when I was leaving a bar with some friends there was a lady stumbling around in a parking lot pretty aimlessly. One friend asked what's that lady doing? I replied that she was looking for a spot to pee. 3 minutes later that lady squats down and takes a pee. I called it. My dog does that too. The taxi industry collapsing. At least in Australia. They had been consistently offering a terrible service for many years, ripping off customers and exploiting every possible loophole, and as soon as a competitor came along Uber they all threw their hands in the air like they were the victims. It was always going to happen. Not everyone thought so, but I saw it happening many years ago. In Germany the taxi companies got together and got Uber banned.
Fucking finally.
When I was in high school theater, my teacher once told me that a gun on the set will always be fired by the final act in relation to intent and set design. Some years later, me and my mom went to see a play and I noticed a curious set of two swords set above the doorway on the stage, and I turned to my mom and said I will bet $50 that there's a sword fight with those two exact swords later. She accepted. Around the fourth act, two characters were in a heated argument and eventually did run to the door frame to grab the swords and duel. I can still remember the crap-eating grin I gave my mom while it happened to this day. That's called a Chekhov's gun. It's a theater literary device. That Mars One initiative has no future and is possibly a scam. Funding what needs to be an international multi-billion space venture with advertising sales on a reality show. Get the F out of here. Spain crashing out of the 2014 World Cup group stages. God laughed at when I said Netherlands and Chile would both beat them. Not that I can gloat that much being English though. Twinkies coming back. After Hostess went bankrupt and stopped production, people started freaking out and saying it was the end of Twinkies. But anyone who stopped to think for 5 seconds knew the brand would be sold off to another company who would take over. Sure enough, they returned to stores a few months later. Lassie never thought they would go